Have you ever had that sudden electric moment when everything just clicks? Your body tingles, your mind sharpens. For a heartbeat, you feel perfectly in sync with something vast, something real, yet unseen. Most brush it off as coincidence, a glitch in the brain. But what if that feeling isn't random at all? What if it's the most important signal your consciousness can receive? Quantum resonance. You've been taught reality is fixed, objective, that you're just a passive observer in a world already set in stone. But that's a lie. Reality isn't happening to you, it's responding to you. And that resonance, it's your awareness syncing with the quantum field, the invisible fabric that generates all physical experience. This isn't mysticism. It's where quantum science and consciousness meet. That flash of clarity, the chill down your spine, it's not noise. It's your system recognizing a match. You've aligned with a frequency that shapes reality itself, yet most feel it and ignore it. They snap back to old stories, limitation, separation, powerlessness, and miss the doorway. But what if you didn't? What if instead you leaned in? Here's the key. The quantum field doesn't respond to your wishes or beliefs. It responds to your frequency. Every thought, emotion, and deep-held assumption emits a vibration, and that vibration selects which possibilities collapse into your lived experience. When resonance hits, you're not just wanting something, you're vibrating as if it's already true. Not your ego's version, not your conditioned mind's fantasy, but your higher self's truth. Remember a recent moment when everything shifted? A conversation that suddenly felt sacred, a walk in nature where the air hummed with connection, a thought that gave you chills because it fit. In that instant, you weren't just thinking about reality, you were co-creating it. Quantum physics confirms this. The observer changes the observed. Particles exist as waves of possibility until awareness collapses them into form. Your consciousness does the same with your entire life. Resonance is the feeling of that collapse aligning with your true nature, not your fears. But here's the breakthrough. You can stabilize this state, not by forcing it, but by recognizing it and allowing it to expand. Pause when it arises. Breathe into it. Let it grow, because that sensation isn't just insight, it's you shifting timelines, selecting a new branch of possibility from the quantum field. Your brain resists, of course. Old neural pathways, carved by years of habitual thought, pull you back to the familiar. But neuroplasticity means you can rewire yourself. Every time you honor resonance, instead of dismissing it, you strengthen new circuits. You train your brain to default to alignment, not anxiety. And because your brain is an observing instrument, this rewiring doesn't just change your perception, it changes what manifests. You're not just seeing a new reality, you're collapsing a new one into being. Your perception doesn't just interpret reality, it selects it. Through the neural pathways you've reinforced over time, your brain acts as a tuning device, collapsing one sliver of infinite quantum possibility into your lived experience. So when you rewire your brain to resonate at a new frequency, you're not just seeing things differently, you're stepping into a different reality altogether. Via the observer effect, what if you learned to anchor there? What if resonance became your baseline? Not a rare spark, but your natural state. That's when transformation stops being aspirational and becomes inevitable. Because the quantum field doesn't care what you want. It responds to what you embody. And resonance? That's your body, mind, soul, vibrating in sync with what your deepest self already knows is true. Pause for a second. If this resonates, drop this in the comments. I recognize resonance as the language of my consciousness communicating with the quantum field. This isn't just words, it's a declaration, a signal to the field that you're awake to how reality actually works. Now, how do you know when resonance is happening? There are clear signs. First, physical sensation, tingling up your spine, warmth in your chest, a lightness in your limbs. This isn't imagination, it's your electromagnetic field sinking into coherence. Your trillions of cells aligning like waves in perfect rhythm, amplifying a signal instead of cancelling it out. Second, mental clarity. Thoughts slow down. The noise fades. You're not figuring things out, you just know. That's your brain shifting from chaotic beta waves into calm alpha or theta. States, the zone of flow, insight, and direct perception. Third, emotional rightness. Not excitement, but a quiet certainty. A feeling of coming home. Your limbic system isn't reacting, it's recognizing alignment. No inner conflict, just peace. And fourth, time shifts. Moments stretch or compress. You feel outside linear clock time. Why? Because time isn't fixed. It's a dimension consciousness navigates by observation. In resonance, you glimpse reality as it truly is. Fluid, responsive, shaped by awareness. But here's where most stumble. They try to understand this new state using the logic of their old one. That creates instant misalignment. Instead, when resonance hits, don't. Interpret, receive, let. The new truth unfold through you, not into your old framework. This takes practice. Your mind craves control. Your ego wants categories. But resonance speaks a deeper language, one of feeling, not logic. Becoming fluent in it is like learning a new tongue. At first, you translate. Eventually, you think in it. You dream in it. You live in it. Ancient traditions knew this. Meditation, qigong, yoga, they weren't just rituals. They were technologies for stabilizing coherence. Neuroscience now confirms it. Long-term practitioners show brain structures rewired for sustained resonance. So how do you live from this state? 3 steps. Amplify it. When you feel resonance, breathe into it. Let it expand, like light flooding your cells. Don't let it fade. Feed it. Release contradiction. Gently withdraw attention from any thought, memory, or fear that doesn't match that frequency. Not by fighting it, just by returning to the signal. Trust it absolutely. Assume this resonance reveals what's truly real, even if it defies your past. That's where timelines shift. And here's the mind-bending part. Quantum experiments like the delayed choice. Eraser show that observation now can rewrite the past. Particles change behavior retroactively based on future measurement. If consciousness bends time at the quantum level, why not at the human one? When you fully embody a new frequency, your entire life story often reorganizes. Old pain reveals purpose. Random events show hidden meaning. Not because you're thinking positive, but because you're collapsing a new probability wave across your timeline. Your resonance today doesn't just shape tomorrow. It reaches backward and forward, selecting which realities become real for you. So don't just notice the click, live from it. In quantum physics, even empty space isn't empty. It's alive with vacuum fluctuations, particles blinking in and out of existence, not randomly but shaped by the underlying field. What if your consciousness does the same with your reality? What if your future isn't fixed but rippling with possibilities that match your frequency? That's why 2 people in similar circumstances can live entirely different lives. It's not luck. It's what their consciousness is emitting. One vibrates scarcity, collapsing experiences of lack. The other embodies abundance, collapsing flow, opportunity, ease. Resonance is the feeling of those aligned possibilities snapping into place around you. This is why sustained coherence beats forced visualization. You're not begging the universe for a single outcome. You're becoming a frequency so clear that reality must reorganize around it, often in ways far wiser than your mind could design. But here's what no one warns you. Resonance doesn't always feel good to the ego. Sometimes it leads you through endings, challenges or upheavals. Yet even in difficulty, there's a quiet rightness, a sense this is necessary, true, aligned. That's the difference between suffering and transformation. Suffering drains you, fractures your clarity, makes you feel small. Transformation, even when hard, expands you, sharpens your truth, reconnects you to your power. You recognize the difference not with your thoughts, but with your body. So pause now, check in. Where do you feel resonance? That's not just a signal. It's your consciousness standing in a new timeline. The real question isn't, do I believe this? It's, Will I stay here? Will you anchor in this frequency or slip back into old habits, old fears, old stories? That choice right now is shaping your future, not magically, physically, through the quantum mechanism of observation. The more you practice this, recognizing resonance, amplifying it, acting from it, the less it feels like a visitor and more like home. You won't be perfect, but you'll return faster, trust deeper, live more fully from alignment. And then reality shifts, not because you chased it, but because you became it. Doors open, synchronicities multiply, resources appear. These aren't miracles. They're the natural response of the quantum field to your coherence. Just like water doesn't slowly turn to steam, it holds heat until, suddenly, everything reorganizes. Your life works the same. You build internal alignment quietly, until one day your outer world catches up all at once. That's the real meaning of manifestation. Not getting what you want, but becoming who you are. So reality mirrors your truth. So the next time you feel that click, the tingling, the knowing, the deep alignment, don't just notice it. Pause, breathe, expand it. Then make your next move from that state, not from fear or memory. That's how you step into a new reality, not by wishing, but by being. Drop one word below that captures the frequency you're choosing to embody now, not as a comment, but as a signature to the field. And if this resonates, subscribe, not just to the channel, but to this collective frequency. The more of us who embody this truth, the more the world reflects it back. Because resonance isn't just a feeling, it's you changing timelines. It's consciousness selecting a reality that matches your truest self. Not who you were told to be, but who you are when you're fully aligned. The field doesn't respond to your desires. It responds to who you're being. And resonance? That's the sound of you remembering yourself. Feel it, trust it, live from it, and watch, without force, without struggle, as everything transforms. This is quantum resonance, and once you know it, you can never unknow it.